Right, good morning everybody. I don't usually like appearing on camera. I'm ill. So, deal with this. Rod Culleton, I'm talking to you. You are a liar. You have been selling the people a lie for the last 12 to 24 months. And it doesn't make me happy, and it doesn't make people around me very happy, knowing that we know things that you are failing to address. So let's have a look at this quickly, Rod. We are talking about citizenship that was introduced in 1948, and you are talking about a Constitution 1973, which you can barely even explain. This is really, really disgusting. What we have here is a situation where the people of Australia became bankrupt and ran out of money. And the government set up a structure with the IMF and allowed anybody that was a pauper to register as a citizen. By the time 1973 came around, everybody was a citizen. Everybody boarded a foreign vessel. Rod, you signed an oath to a foreign vessel. Rod, you took an oath to a foreign parliament. Rod, you committed the act of treason. Rod, do you understand this, Rod? I'm trying to explain to everyone that your country was invaded and taken under warfare, in which Robert Menzies in 1939 gave your country to the crown that wasn't your crown. Wasn't your crown, Rod. And you talk about a queen. Which queen, which crown, which line of authority, which set of royal estates, under which Bible? You've got no idea. You have simply got zero clue. And it really begins to frustrate people who are trying to fix a country, and you're selling them back into the citizenship that is the lie. So you are enabling the destruction of your country under the oath you took in the parliament you entered. It's gobsmackingly stupid. We are in an Australian imperial crown. It's displayed on the front doors of Old Parliament House. It's displayed on the statue of King George out the front of Old Parliament House. There's a statue of King George inside Old Parliament House. It's displayed on the front doors of the Shrine of Remembrance in Melbourne in the King's Domain. And you took an oath foreign to it. I really do not understand how you can continue to lie to the people. So let's address you for a second. You entered a farming venture with your neighbour, and your neighbour entered a courtroom because you owed him money. You were unable to pay your neighbour money, so the court bankrupted you. The Attorney General found out about your bankruptcy and put something before the court under Section 44. I actually defended you by sending paperwork to the High Court. Right? Section 44 is a lie under this crown because it's not related to our Constitution. It's gobsmackingly strange that you will not pick up on these things. And it's gobsmackingly strange that you would defend the very thing that is linked to the United Nations. It is also strange that you would lie to everyone about your own circumstances in relation to your efforts in the Senate. You fell asleep the day that you were supposed to be putting that before the Senate, and they took it as a comment. And then you had to say it all over again, and the Attorney General turned around and said you were lucky. He said to you that your failure to appear in the courtroom probably saved your ass from going to jail. You didn't interpret his words that way. You went all off half-cocked. You created the problem in the first place, and the Attorney General merely picked up on it. And you blame him for that. You blame him for telling you in the Parliament you were lucky. And you were, because then you went and acted in the office of executor and was charged with that, and then ended up in court, and I believe you got a $2,000 fine for acting in the office of executor of a bankrupt estate, which would have negated you from Parliament in the first place, even if it was de jure. So de jure or de facto, you still were a bankruptcy at law. So you still are ineligible to sit the Senate. Wow. Right, so I'm not going to appear on camera very much, but I had to tell all of you, this is a joke. Rod Culleton is not telling you the truth. Rod Culleton has never told you the truth. Rod Culleton has self-interest. Rod Culleton owes his farm neighbour a lot of money. He has self-interest. He lost a patent issue in relation to farming product. He has self-interest. He lost a seat in the Senate and a pension. He has self-interest. He has no interest in your country. He's selling it to you to get back into that Parliament to get a pension, and that Parliament he took an oath to isn't the Parliament that he should be taking an oath to. They closed your Prime Minister's office in 1971, and he's telling you it all started in 1973. They closed your Prime Minister's office in 1971. They took your ships of war off you in 1939. They imposed the Foreign Coat of Arms on you in 1925. They signed an agreement at war in 1907. But it all started in 1973, according to Rod. So what's the answer, everybody? It's quite simple. You became citizens and took an oath of allegiance to something foreign to your Commonwealth. And the only way you can take an oath of allegiance away from what occupied your Commonwealth is by taking an oath to a king. Because the oath in the schedule to the Constitution is a monarch. Time to wake up, everybody. This idiot has been lying to you. I don't know whether it's lies, and along with Wayne Glue, both of them have been jerking you around in their ignorance, lies, incapacity to be able to ascertain the truth. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's on purpose or in their own ignorance. But I'm telling you now, Rod, I'm telling you now, Wayne, there is information on the table that goes back all the way to the 1800s, and you're talking about 1973. There is information on the table that takes the Commonwealth of Australia all the way back to Hague Conventions in 1907, and you're talking about 1973. What brought 1973 about, Rod Culleton? You explain that to the people.